The bitter truth: every empire tells the same lie: our money is safe. Every government promises the same thing: our word is good forever. And what does history do? It looks them in the face and laughs every single time. From the American Civil War to modern Lebanon, from Rome to France, this movie is always the same. People wake up one morning to find that the cash savings they built up for years have turned into scraps of paper, their salaries have become mere stamps, and the systems they called unshakable have stolen their futures. Collapse isn't a rare event, friends. Collapse is a rule of this game. The real issue isn't whether the financial system will crash or not. It will crash. The real question is, when the day the system crashes arrives, where will you be standing? Trust is an illusion. Do you know what our biggest mistake is? The illusion of permanence. You look at the numbers in your bank account, the money in your pocket, and assume its existence is as solid as a rock. But money cannot be a rock. Money simply means trust. But trust can evaporate overnight. History is a good teacher, but a brutal one. If you look closely, you'll see that the survivors of this destruction weren't the ones who trusted the system the most. The winners are those who always doubted the system. Byzantium and the gold trap. Think of Byzantium. At the center of their economy was the solidus. Like the dollar of its era, it was a pure gold coin accepted across the entire world. But what happened? The critical mistake Rome made with silver, they made with gold. They tampered with the structure of the money, mixing in worthless metals. At first, no one noticed. But once trust is broken, it is very hard to turn back. That interference with the material makeup of the money turned a vast empire's precious currency into a political lie in an instant. So, who remained standing? Those who believe the administration's claim that everything is fine? No. It was those who quietly stockpiled pure gold and bought land that the emperor could not seize or tamper with. That is the first lesson. Governments love to dilute money. When they dilute the money, real value flees to things they cannot imitate, real assets. The Black Death and opportunities. In some cases, the blow doesn't come from the government itself, but from somewhere you least expect. The 14th century, the Black Death. Almost half of Europe died. A terrible disaster. But when looked at economically, the situation takes a strange turn. When half the population disappeared, what happened? Labor became valuable. Survivors started demanding higher wages from business owners. Land was plentiful, but people were scarce. Those with a bit of silver savings in their pockets, holders of liquidity, snatched up lands that used to cost a fortune for almost nothing. Does this sound familiar? Remember the pandemic. Supply chains broke, states started printing money like crazy. And the result? Those with money swept up cars, houses, and the stock market. People trying to survive on wages were crushed under rents and high costs of living. History rhymes, friends. Crises reward those who have ammunition in reserve and crush those who don't. The too big to fail lie. Let's go back to Renaissance Florence. The center of banking. The Bardi and Peruzzi families. They were like the giant capital banks of today. They were lending huge sums to kings. But when the King of England reached a point where he couldn't pay his debt, what happened? Those giant banks fell like dominoes. What did people learn? There is no such thing as too big to fail. Banks exist to make a profit, not to ensure your survival. When they fall along with your savings. From the 2008 crisis to frozen accounts in Lebanon, the story is always the same. The promises given by institutions are valid only until the day they are broken. The extinction of paper money, America and France, the American Civil War, or the French Revolution. Forget the political side of the event, look at the pocketbook. Governments printed unbacked money to fight wars. Greenbacks in the north, graybacks in the south, assignats in France. The result? Hyperinflation. In the south, People carried money in wheelbarrows just to buy a single loaf of bread. In those days, those holding paper money starved, while those holding land, gold, and food lived like kings. The lesson is very clear: even your own country may one day see the extinction of its money. On that day, what ensures your survival isn't the paper in your wallet, but the real values the system cannot print and multiply. Modern times, Asia and Lebanon don't say, that's ancient history. The 1997 Asian crisis. The 2019 Lebanon crisis. In Lebanon, people woke up one morning to find banks had become brick walls. Years of hard work, the savings of doctors and engineers, all turned to trash. Your savings in the bank do not actually belong to you, they are a loan you gave to the bank that you might maybe get back. The same happened in the Asian crisis. Everyone who trusted the local currency went under, those with dollars or foreign assets managed to stay standing. Borrowing in someone else's currency is a deadly trap. When the storm comes, it is never the creditors who drown, but the debtors. Conclusion: what should be done? You see the picture clearly now. Paper money vanishes. Debt enslaves. And the survivors aren't those who believe in the system with all their heart, but those who see the cracks in the system beforehand. So, how do we protect ourselves when everything falls apart? History says, the answer is never just one thing. Sometimes it's saving gold, sometimes it's investing in land, sometimes it's pulling your money out of the bank early. But the greatest insurance is definitely to produce. Those who stood on solid ground throughout history weren't just those with gold and land. In a crisis, money runs out, but needs do not. The baker continued to make bread, the craftsman continued to repair, the merchant continued to move goods. If you can produce value, you will never stay poor for long. Don't believe the big shows, or the fairy tales that governments or banks will save you. Possess real assets, real skills. Because a crisis is actually a massive transfer of wealth, a transfer of wealth from those caught unprepared to those who were prepared. History doesn't repeat, but it destroys those who don't learn the lesson. Are you the victim, or the survivor? The choice is yours. If looking at the subject from this angle lit a spark in your mind, hit subscribe. History always has an answer, I'm just showing you where to find it.